All right, hello everybody. My name is Brian Andrews. Currently the executive director for Lakes Area Restorative Justice Project. Um, haven't always been in that role, that's for sure. Today I want to just talk to you a little bit about being there and being present and supporting people in their journey from addiction into recovery. The biggest gift I was given was somebody that didn't quit, somebody that kept coming, somebody that kept showing up and seeing me right where I was at. So a peer service or a supporting friend or a support staff, you have a great opportunity to truly impact a person's life. And a person just like me. Coming out, I had no worth and I had no value. And I didn't have an identity either. So trying to figure my way out of that, it came in the form of a supporting person. And he continued to show up. He continued to meet me where I was at. And continued to listen. And it was important to meet me where I was at because I wasn't ready in the beginning. And as I became ready, he was continuing to show up. And so, what does it take? What is the journey from addiction to recovery? You see, when we make that decision, or as we're contemplating making that decision, having people around us that can help demonstrate what it looks like to walk it out. And it doesn't have to be someone that's in recovery, right? It has to be someone that's genuine in walking and serving and volunteering or whatever the role is that each of you might play. It's important to know that when you're holding space, when you're working with an individual like myself, that regardless of where they're at in their journey, they still have worth and value. Knowing that is empowering, number one. And providing that deep listening is the other part. We don't listen to hear, we listen to learn. And so as you're working with individuals, listening, sometimes it's not about talking, sometimes it's not about responding, it's about just hearing what they have to say. And as I was sharing what I had to say, the individual that was helping me was listening. He was listening to what I was saying, he was listening to what I was doing. And as he did that, he really gave me the greatest gift. And the greatest gift for me was first finding a place to serve. It's important for people in recovery to be connected to something with a greater purpose than themselves. So individuals that, for me, and I'll just speak from me because that's where I'm best at, is being connected to community. So volunteering, it was, number one, my very first experience was not good. And it was almost enough to keep me from ever trying it again, because we've got to pass a background check in order to volunteer at some places. Well, my kids were expecting me to volunteer with them, and then I got the denial. The denial isn't always all end all. Sometimes it's just not right now. In the beginning, I was trying to serve at our church. I wanted to volunteer. I had this heart of giving back, and I knew that I wanted to be around positive people. It's important for me or people like me to be around that positive people, because I have a saying that I like to live by. Show me your friends and I'll show you your future. And who is around us? If there's not people around us that are doing something that we ultimately want to be or do, we're not going to learn or grow. And so with that comes, that was my first desire of volunteering at the church. When I received the no to volunteer with the youth, it was a little bit discouraging. But at the same time, it wasn't just a no and then they left me with a no, right? So if you guys are handing out any kind of no, or if any of the individuals are being told a no when they're trying to find, whether it's a job or a service opportunity, just supporting them in that spot and letting them know that maybe it's just not right now, or maybe this is an opportunity to steer you in another direction. Either one is okay, and it doesn't define who you are. That's important. So as we find our traction, as a person moves from addiction into recovery, it's also important, and it was important for me to be connected with opportunities to learn and grow. If we aren't being challenged to live a different way, then we're going to stay living with what's comfortable for us. And so in doing that, for me, I believed when I said I'm going to be clean, I was going to, number one, anytime someone who needed my hand of help that was in whether it's with addiction or in the community, I was going to say yes. The other part is I have to learn how to live life again, right? Just the basic things. I need to have a basic understanding. You see, being given the gift of, ultimately given the gift of being in drug court, it helped me learn how to live again. You see, my hours were mixed up, schedules were mixed up, so just the basic clear understanding of what are we supposed to do. And so when I'm thinking about the people that are going to be in these spaces, clear understanding, expectations, and a plan. And so what is the plan while you're here? What was my plan moving forward? If I didn't have someone that was walking side by side with me, answering questions or providing resources, or even just checking in to make sure I was doing okay, there would have been no chance for my success. And so it's important to have that person that's going to ask those questions, but also holding someone accountable. I always believe that there's a few key pieces of this. Number one is holding space, meeting them right where they're at. So as a person in recovery, as I'm trying to sort through my mess, because generally as we're getting into recovery, we have our life's a mess. We've got a lot of different things going on. So helping to just sort through that. What's important? What can we do today? Making sure that we do at least one thing each day as we head in that direction. It can be as simple as making your bed, right? It can be going outside and getting activity. Every day there's got to be something. And how does it move towards your goal? You see, I tie all the different pieces of my life together, and they're all connected. And so when I look at my journey from homelessness or living on the street into where I'm at today, I had to continue to challenge myself. And so as I began to live this new life, the curtains were open. I'd welcome people into my life. I let some of my guard down. I became vulnerable. But I didn't just automatically know how to be vulnerable. It had to be demonstrated from someone else. And so demonstrating vulnerability, openness, listening, understanding, empathy, and we can do all those things by asking good questions, and ultimately helping people know and guiding them where to go by asking good questions too. And so other things that are important. So we gain an understanding. Our basic needs. Once our basic needs are met, once my basic needs were met, I began to set goals. I had short-term, long-term, and then bigger goals. And as I went down that path, that first goal that I reached was, once I got that, it was something to celebrate. So celebrating with individuals as they obtain those goals, as they reach those goals, is going to be an important thing. And I have what I want to talk about is creating safe space too. Creating safe space is important. We're talking about vulnerable populations, and I can speak from that spot of keeping everything close to the vest, right? If I say this or I say that, is it going to get me kicked out of here? Am I going to lose an opportunity? Will I not get the job? Creating that space, and it comes from us, right? Because I'm a helper too. As we create that space, and as I demonstrate vulnerability through openness, obviously with guardrails, right? But demonstrating openness, caring, kindness, being intentional about that with everyone that we're working with. All important, because here's the deal. I could tell somebody was just showing up to check a box. I could always see that. Are you just checking a box, or do you really care? And I could see whether you really cared or not. And then being hesitant anyway, right, to build any new relationships. And so as I started to get that, I think the biggest roles for me were people that coached me, people that spoke life into me, people that could tell me who they saw. Who do you see? Because like I said, I didn't know who I was. I had all these old beliefs about who I was. So surrounding myself with positive people that were caring, honest, had integrity, and would hold me accountable, right? And so they are the ones that poured into me in the beginning, helped to guide me and encourage me, and they were actually my cheerleaders too. I think that was the other part that was super important to me. But as we go along, we got the impact of being supported, transformation. You see, what I see is a community full of opportunities. I try to, everywhere I go, I try to cultivate. I call it restoring hope and cultivating community. And there's a reason for that. Through restoring hope, every individual that gets an opportunity gains their worth and value, is supported in discovering their why, is pointed towards opportunities to whether it's education, career, service. We're talking about an exponential impact that comes from that. We look at the transformational power of impacting another individual through support. And so the other part I want to touch base on is, what does that look like? How can we do all those things, but yet still make sure that we're running a good organization, and it's firm, it's fair, it's accountable, clear expectations, clear goals. And the other thing I really that's resonated on me in a lot of places is bringing the community together, identifying goals, values, and beliefs that they believe for the space that they're in. And lastly, is everybody called into the roles that they're serving in? Has everyone that's a part of the organization, a part of the community that surrounds that? Is it a calling? Is it you feel your spirit move that this is what I'm supposed to be doing? We want to make sure that we're not checking a box because it looks good and it's shiny, right? But you can see that everything that you've been taught, everything that you've learned, and everything about who you are is a fit for this project. And if it's yes to all those things, then you're absolutely the right person.